Hey, true crime fans. I'm Amanda.
And I'm her mom, Pam.
And we are inviting you to listen to our podcast, Enmeshed. We dive deep to give you fresh takes on stale relationships.
Join us every Monday for an audio journey covering the darker side of family dynamics.
Our episodes are around 30 minutes.
We get right into it.
We will guide you through intriguing, lesser-known cases
and famous crime stories
involving murder, deceit, and the entangled family members who commit these crimes together
or against each other.
Check us out wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
And remember, some of the most poisonous people come disguised as family.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to another episode of Crimes, Killers, Cults,
and Beer.
And beer! This two crazy Florida men drinking beer and talking about true crime, and I don't have anything witty to say about right now.
All right.
It's getting harder to come up with new ones.
Oh yeah, I get it.
One of these days, when I'm not writing an episode or something like that, or trying to write my book, which I've been pulling a Todd on my book. but one of these days, I'm gonna just write down like a whole bunch of them, just rapid fire them as they come to me and all that stuff.
Right on.
And hold on,
talk. Checky. Check.
Again. Okay, good. Check. We're good.
Yeah,
I lost you in this ear.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, that's Todd.
And that's Bill.
Yeah. And, today we're going to cover a sadistic and evil organization that exists in every city in the U.S., and I'm sure other countries have similar groups.
Uh-oh.
This is an organization so evil that you might even call it a cult. And every day they hold hundreds of people hostage, and upon their release, the hostages are changed and experience PTSD. Yet this organization is backed and approved by the U.S. government. And I'm not talking about the troubled teen industry. And I'm not talking about Scientology or even religion. I'm talking about the DMV.
Yeah, still DMV.
For those of you listening outside of the U.S., that's the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Yes.
I'm not going to really go on a rant about that. I mean, everybody has a shitty time at the DMV, but something did happen that's noteworthy.
Okay.
So, as you can see, I'm wearing my CKCB shirt that I wore to CrimeCon.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured, hey, I'm going to be around a bunch of people at the DMV. Might as well wear the shirt.
There you go. Hell yeah.
And I'm telling you, this logo pops. I mean, it just the logo itself, people, I mean, all through CrimeCon, people are like, that is cool. What is that? That is cool looking. Yeah. Daniel Rapala, my Romanian friend who did this for us. But something happened based on this shirt. So I'm sitting there waiting, and every time they called a number that wasn't mine, I was just like,
right.
Not to mention the fact that I had to leave and then come back because they wanted to, I thought that I had an email with my new insurance policy on it to do my registration, but I didn't. So I'm like, let me download the app real quick. No, you can't do that while you're sitting here.
You can't do that while you're sitting here. What kind of bullshit is that?
I'm like, look, I mean, I'm like, it's already downloaded. I just have to nope, you can't do that here. You're going to have to come back. I'm like, fuck you, you fucking cunt. But, so I had to leave and come back. And I got a new driver's license too, because mine was literally falling apart and it didn't have my proper address on it. So I just took care of that while I was there too. Wow. And I swear my picture on that looks like fucking BTK's mugshot. Oh man, if I get if I might just take a picture of just the photo on the new license and just post it just for shits and giggles, because I'm not kidding. I'm just like, I saw that I saw it. You know how you can see it on their computer screen? Oh yeah. I was like, good God, I look like a freaking serial killer.
I'm not. I just do a show about them.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there waiting. This is after I had come back. So I'm sitting there waiting, and there's this guy. He's probably a little bit older than us, but he's sitting there with his mother, who is like super old. And I hope that woman's not driving a car. That's all I gotta say. I mean, no disrespect intended, but all of a sudden I hear her, you know, in the typical stereotypical old lady voice going, "Crimes, killers." What is that? And I just stayed in my phone, like I was just doing my thing, and I was annoyed at this point anyway. Not with her, but yeah. But she goes, "Is that crimes, killers, cats?"
Cats.
And that made me laugh. I said, "No, it's cults." And it's like, "And what?" And I said, "And beer." She's like, "Do you like cats?" I said, "Yeah, I like cats."
My co-host does.
I said, "My co-host likes them better." Like, well, you have a cat? No, I don't have a cat. I got beer.
My co-host has 8 of them.
but I just, yeah, I was just being nice to her, but I thought that was funny. Crimes, killers, cats.
Cats and.
That's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt. Crimes, killers, cats, and litter.
And litter. Oh, damn.
So, anyway, I don't have any more ado, do you?
I do not.
Okay. So we're just gonna jump right into this. This is actually our second World War II story. Because the first one obviously was the USS Indianapolis, which you guys dug. You guys digged it.
Digged it.
Dig dug. But so it's also the first one we've ever done with evil doctor, the serial killer doctor. And there's a bunch of those out there, and I've got a book on one of them that we're going to cover at some point. But so in 1940, during World War II, France was conquered and was occupied by the Nazis. And it was a very fast and very decisive victory for the Nazis. And France fell in a couple days.
Oh yeah.
The French were terrified. Oh boy. The French See, I'm pumped about this one. And I'm like getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
No. What are you drinking?
Oh, we didn't even do that.
No.
My go-to rum and Coke and powder blue sippy cup.
Yeah, I'm drinking Bud Light. Apparently I need to drink a couple more. You calm me down a little bit, because I didn't even get through the first paragraph.
Yeah, right.
Oh, damn. So the French people were terrified, not knowing what was going to happen to them, especially the Jews living in France.
Yeah.
But during the chaos, a serial killer saw a great opportunity to get rich. He put together an evil yet brilliant plan, and he took advantage of the fears of the Jews for their money. And he pretended to be an ally of the Jewish people, and he would get them to pay him to safely and secretly get them out of France to safety.
Okay.
So when these people disappeared, families didn't dare go to the police because the police were all Nazis. You know, they were all under Nazi control at this point, and we're going to get into that. There's going to be history in this too. We're not just going to tell the story of the serial killer.
So history lesson.
Yeah, but it's history lesson. Right. It's a history lesson, CKCB style.
All right, then here we go.
Oh boy. So, this monster was able to carry out his evil with no worry whatsoever about getting caught.
Yeah, right.
Or so he thought.
Yeah.
Right. But he was caught, and he was convicted of 26 murders, although he was suspected of killing between 60 and 200.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Damn. All right.
Even a couple early on that he got away with.
Oh, okay. So he's getting lucky or whatever. Ugh.
Yeah. Like I said before, this was the first ever episode about a serial killer doctor. His name was Dr. Marcel Petiot, and he was probably the biggest non-Nazi piece of shit in World War II.
Okay.
He wasn't a Nazi, although Hitler would have loved him, and he probably would have given him a position at a concentration camp similar to Joseph. Yeah, I'm just going to email you the notes and you do the show. Fuck!
Jesus.
This is the worst start I think I've ever had.
Yeah, you're not off to a good start.
All right, well, I'm going to start that whole paragraph over again. Okay. Like I said before, this is our first ever episode about a serial killer doctor. Dr. Marcel Petiot was probably the biggest non-Nazi piece of shit in World War II. He wasn't a Nazi, although Hitler would have loved him.
Oh, I'm sure.
And he probably would have given him a position at a concentration camp similar to Joseph Mengele. God damn it. This is going to be one for the history books.
Probably. You're on a roll.
He seemed to come up with the perfect murder and money scheme. And at this point, 10 million people were fleeing from France. And in fact, this was the largest exodus since the biblical one.
Oh.
The French Prime Minister resigned and was replaced by Marcel Petiot, a French World War I hero, but now he was a appeasing, collaborating Nazi piece of shit. His policy was peace at any cost, which meant, of course, give the Nazis everything. You know, women. I think that him and Neville Chamberlain probably would have gone out for tea.
Yeah, right. Sounds like it.
But
gone out for tea.
So he met with the Nazis and surrendered. So France was divided into two sections. The north was under Nazi rule, while the south was a free zone under the charge of Petiot, who was a Nazi puppet.
So they were all Nazi, they just didn't know it.
Yeah, Petiot, I really hate this guy. But I mean, I'm not going to tell you to put a knife in it, but we find out what happens to him at the end of this episode.
All right.
Because obviously,
I'm betting it's something gruesome by the way you said that. So
Well,
or not?
I'll expand on that when we get there.
Okie dokie.
Because it's interesting that you bring that up, because it's from a psychological standpoint. We'll get there.
Okay. Let's get there.
There was an underground resistance that was formed, and they fought and undermined the Nazis from the shadows and aided the Allies. They also started escape networks to get people out of France. And the Nazis would imprison, torture, and even execute anyone even suspected of being part of the resistance.
Vive la resistance!
As Nazis do.
Right?
Or did. And I promise you will not hear any JPF in this episode. I promise. I got a bunch of other shit in store for you.
And there you have it.
Posing as a member of the resistance, Petiot would go undetected. And he was able to run this scam from 1940 to 1944, living in the middle of Paris. One day, foul-smelling smoke was coming from Petiot's chimney. The smoke had been going straight up for a couple of days, but the weather conditions had changed and were now pushing the smoke back down rather than blowing it up and away. And the neighbors, people in the city began to complain. One neighbor called the police, and when the police got there, they found a note on the door saying to forward all mail to another city, Auxerre? An A-U-X-E-R-R-E. Auxerre? I think I got that right.
Yeah, probably. It sounds right to me.
But a neighbor said that the property was owned by a Dr. Petiot. And they called Dr. Petiot, who was at his other house outside of Paris. He said
His
he would be right.
House.
Yeah, he had two houses. He said, and we're going to get to that. He said, put a knife in that.
I hit it. It didn't go. That's weird. There
we go. He said that he would be right there, and he never showed, so the police broke in, and they traced the smoke as coming from the basement. But put a knife in that, too, because we're going to start from the beginning.
All right.
Marcel Petiot was born January 17th, 1897 in Auxerre, Yonne, in northern France. Yonne? I don't know. French listeners, I apologize for butchering your city's names. And some other names. And same with you German people. I'm probably going to butcher some of them as well. But,
Bill can't even speak English, so of course he's going to butcher that. Well, he can speak English, he can't get the words out of his mouth half the time.
Especially on this episode.
I know.
But, his parents were postal workers, and he was sent to live with his aunt because they worked a lot. And, Marcel Petiot, he saw a lot more of his mom than he did of his dad. His dad just he didn't really bounce, but he just really wasn't there either. He was just kind of like an occasional acquaintance or whatever. But Marcel was a loner as a kid, and he showed signs of becoming a psychopath. He would impale birds on knitting needles. He would also put them into shoe boxes and not feed them just to watch them slowly starve to death.
Oh.
He even stole a gun one time from his dad, and he took it to school and fired shots into the ceiling.
Okay. Real winner, this guy.
Yeah, he said he did it to brighten up a dull lesson. This is still while he's a kid. He's not even a teenager yet at this point.
Jesus Christ, to brighten up a dull lesson. Oh my God. Okay.
As a teenager, he had even more run-ins with the law, robbing mailboxes, damaging public property. He was given a psychiatric evaluation and determined to be mentally ill, which got the charges against him dropped.
Of course.
He had been expelled from school quite a few times, but he was smart. He was a good student when he was there. He got expelled for doing stupid shit.
All right.
So, he wound up finishing his education for a special academy for troubled youths. And
not white boys?
Not white boys. Troubled white boy youths.
White boy youths.
Utes.
Oh,
the two white boy utes. What is a ute?
Did you say youths? The two youths. Jesus.
But he graduated in 1915, and he fought in World War I with the French army, but he was hoping to get into medicine. He had joined in 1916, and he was gassed in the Second Battle of Aisne, which led to a mental breakdown. And why does that sound familiar?
I don't know. Oh. It's Sabaton.
Not only that, he was gassed in World War I, which led to a mental breakdown. Episode 50.
Like I remember that.
Dust Bowl Killer.
Oh, okay. Dude, I don't remember the numbers and what we talked about. I mean, I should have remembered that one because that was 50. I should have remembered that one.
Well, you better put
you
your
did
thinking
such a great
cap
job. Oh God, hold on, I got to find it.
So, Petiot.
I don't see it anymore. So
he was sent to several army-run group homes after the war, and where he was arrested for stealing army supplies and was sent to jail in New Orleans, or in Orleans, not New Orleans. But why does this sound familiar?
Episode 50?
No, our most recent one, you dumbass.
Well, that's me.
He was arrested.
I do actually pay attention to you when you're doing it, but after that, it just kind of goes away.
Well, he was arrested for stealing army supplies.
Oh, yeah, that's right. See, I remember it now. As long as you remind me, I can remember it. I know that's dumb as fuck, but anyway, it is what it is.
So after his jail sentence, his jail stint, he was returned to the front lines where he was wounded in the foot by a grenade that he dropped.
That he dropped.
Yeah. I wanted it to be a head wound, but it wasn't. He ultimately got medically discharged from the army, and it was likely that he was doing this on purpose to get off the front lines.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
That was deep.
I know. I thought I had something better than that, but I didn't.
After the
That's
war,
all I could come up with.
After the Great War, he entered an accelerated medical program for veterans at the University of Paris. Not sure that I want my doctor to be mentally ill and clumsy enough to drop a grenade on himself.
I know, right?
But he got his degree in 1921, and he relocated to Villeneuve-sur-Yonne.
Okay.
Sorry, French people.
If you say so.
I like your fries. I like your style of kissing.
Not the dressing, though.
No, I don't like the dressing. I like the wine. French wine.
Oh God. Here we go.
But after he got his degree, he began practicing medicine, and he wasn't a bad doctor, and he really had a good rapport with his patients who, it's like he would do anything for them. Like, need me on a Saturday or Sunday? Sure, I'm there. Something happened to you at 10 o'clock at night? Sure, I'm there. On the surface, good doctor, good dude.
Right on.
Or so everybody thought.
Right. Little did they know.
Little did they know. But the real reason that he wanted to be a doctor was drugs.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, like blew off half his foot or whatever he did.
No, it just injured it.
Oh, just injured it?
That's another reason why I think that he did it on purpose. He threw it far enough away to where, he just get a minor injury from it.
I thought you said he dropped it on his foot.
Oh, he dropped it near his foot, not directly on it. If he had dropped it directly on it, it would have blown his leg off.
I love how he bounced and rolled. But anyway.
Duck and cover.
Right?
But he sold the drugs on the side and he performed illegal abortions. People are aware of this, but small town needs its doctor.
Yes, it does.
And not to mention this is this is post World War I, and lots of doctors had been killed on the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
His first murder may have come in 1926. He was having an affair with a lesser woman, a servant.
Oh, those fuck.
Yeah, it's stature. Yeah,
I know, but you know what I mean, dude.
Yeah,
nobody's lesser. Even never mind. Well, I don't want to go there.
I didn't say it.
I know you didn't say it. I'm just, I know it was the times.
It was the time. Yeah.
Yes, I mean I understand that, but you know what I'm saying.
So he moved her in with him and everything, and she was posing as his servant, but everybody knew that she wasn't his servant. But
not in the traditional sense.
Right. She was serving.
Indeed.
Her name was Louise Decaveau.
Decaveau? Okay.
Decaveau. And she disappeared, and there were people who said that they saw him stuffing her body into a car. Police did an investigation, but decided that she had simply run away. But ironically enough, her disappearance coincided with her telling Marcel that she was pregnant.
Indeed.
Dude, I almost spit my beer. I was not expecting that.
Nobody expects that.
It's not the Spanish Inquisition, although it's close.
It's close.
But Marcel's side of the story was she walked out on him. But a week or two later, a headless body was found in the river, and people swore that it was Louise, but nothing came of it.
Okay.
So that same year, Petiot ran for mayor of that town whose name I butchered a minute ago. Villeneuve-sur-Yonne.
Yeah.
But he won overwhelmingly. Everybody suspected him of killing Louise, but in the mayoral debates, he got up there and he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I am guilty of a crime," and everybody's like, "What? Huh? I'm guilty of loving this town and its people so much."
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, grandstanding. And he won decisively, 80% of the vote.
Yeah, that happens.
But he swore that he would reform the destroyed town, but I'm not sure how embezzling funds from the copper could reform the town.
Got me. I don't know that either. Well, it's reforming his pockets.
It's reforming his wallet, yeah. But he later that year married 23-year-old Georgette Lablias.
It's probably not. It's probably just like Lablaze or
Lablais
or something like that.
Lablais, yeah. Lablais.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. But they later had a son named Gerhardt in April of 1928. Later, a dairy farmer's house was on fire. His wife was found dead and burned, but her head was bashed in as well. And rumors went around that the farmer's wife had been having an affair with Mayor Marcel, and Marcel was there on the scene when the woman was discovered. He and his wife had driven by, slowed down to look, and then drove off to a movie theater.
Okay.
So he's also a fucking traffic rubbernecker.
I thought you were going to tell me that he did that too. And was just there. You know, like he was a cocky fucking bastard.
One witness said that he saw Marcel near the house when the fire started. And he was one of Marcel's patients, and he had rheumatism. The next day, Marcel told him that he had a new cure for rheumatism that had just came out, and he gave him an injection. 3 hours later, the man was dead.
See, I was right. He was there. He did. Oh boy.
But one thing that's missing from my source material was, who do they suspect committed the murder? Did he light the fire? Did the husband kill his wife out of rage? None of that's addressed, and
really?
I got questions.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, but the local prefect got many complaints about Marcel, about his thefts and other shady activities. That he was audited, and among a lot of other things, they found contracts with companies that didn't exist.
Alrighty then.
He resigned his position as mayor in August of 1931, but he got elected to a county council seat, or a council seat. In 1932, Marcel was accused of stealing electricity, and he lost his council seat.
What did he do? Like, go over to his neighbor's house and fucking plug an extension cord
in? That's where my mind went to. It's like, how the hell do you steal electricity back then in the 30s? I mean,
this shit barely been invented.
They probably didn't even have extension cords back then. Much less the 300-foot ones that you can get these days.
Yeah, right? That's funny. Stealing electricity. Oh, jeez.
So Marcel bounced to Paris. While there, he loved the nightlife. He definitely wasn't faithful to his wife. And he claimed that he could cure sexually transmitted diseases like the clap and syphilis. He even claimed that he had drugs for a completely painless childbirth.
Oh.
He even claimed that he could cure cancer.
Oh, did he really?
Yes. He made up fake credentials to back up these claims and to get business. And why does that sound familiar?
I know it. I actually do remember that one, but I don't remember which one it was. Slave
Master.
Yeah. Like I said, I that one actually sounded familiar to me. Like, I remember that one.
Well, you better. I got a lot of these.
Dude, I can't listen to fucking 60-something episodes in like 20 minutes.
But you know why? You know why there's a lot of these?
Why?
Because he's a little bit of all our stories all rolled into one. He's a dick. He's a killer. He's a robber. He's a liar. He's a sinner, not a saint. He needs to be restrained.
Sorry, Meredith Brooks.
There were once again rumors of illegal abortions and overprescribing drugs. He also wrote death certificates. He even got institutionalized for kleptomania, and he didn't like paying taxes either.
Well, who does? But you still have to do it.
Yeah. So he's a klepto. He's a techie. He's a brain damaged freak. You know he wouldn't want it any other way.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Meredith Brooks is going to fucking sue us, dude.
Okay. All right. No more. He's just a bitch.
He's just a bitch.
Marcel's just a bitch. That's all he'll ever be. He'll kill you and rob you at night.
Please stop.
Okay, I'm done. Only CKCV would tie 90s girl rock into the story.
Yeah, right.
And I'm not done. I got more.
Of course you do.
No, this episode's full of them, dude.
Oh, I have no doubt. You said it was a good one.
Yeah, it's a good story too, but I've also got a bunch of funny shit.
Yeah.
But,
right on.
No. So now when the Nazis invaded France, Marcel did actually do some good things, which got back to the resistance. So he was actually, he might have been part of it initially.
Right.
Or maybe even all the way to the end. Passing information and things like that.
All right.
When French, I'm speculating. I'm probably not, but it's possible. But when French citizens were drafted into forced labor, he would make false disability documents for these people to keep them from being conscripted. Oh. He also treated the workers who weren't so lucky, but he would also overprescribe, and he got caught. And the Nazis had two people who were going to testify against him, but they conveniently disappeared. So he just got a stiff fine.
It's amazing how that happened.
Yeah, 2,500 francs.
It's a lot of hot dogs, man. I couldn't help it.
You got me. You got me. Oh, shit. But what he did do for the resistance, he overshadowed because of all the things that he said that he did after he was caught, but put a knife in that. Jews were being ousted from their careers, and Marcel saw a way to support himself and his family. One Jewish man who disappeared in 1941 had a business partner named, one Jew. What? Okay, what did I type here? There was a Jewish man in 1941 named Joachim Gushinov. And he had told his business partner of all of his arrangements that he had made with the doctor to get him out of France. He had made this deal with Marcel, who was going by a code name Dr. Eugene.
Dr. Eugene. Okay.
Yeah. And he was posing as someone running an underground railroad of sorts for the resistance to get Jews out of France. And Marcel had treated Gushinov under his real name and then told him about his secret identity.
His secret identity. I'm Batman.
Yeah.
Or Badman, more like it.
Yeah. So Marcel told Gushinov that he would have to be vaccinated. And that he would do the vaccination, and then Gushinov would be taken across France and into Spain. He would have false documents and everything. He would be taken across France and into Spain, and then to a port in Africa where he would then sail to Argentina. Now, okay. Gushinov was very well off, and he took over 1.5 million francs, I guess, in cash, gold, silver, and diamonds, and he went to Marcel, and he was never seen again.
Gee, I wonder why.
But I'm just skipping forward a little bit, but it's important to the story to know, basically what this chucklehead was doing.
Right.
So, but these types of escape routes were common with the resistance, so it didn't seem unusual for something like that to be available to Jews. Because and the Nazis knew that they were around. When they were found, they were shut down and everything. But It's a resistance. You shut down one cell, another one's going to pop up. Just,
Viva la resistance.
So he was becoming rich from all of the snake oil sales and illegal abortions and stuff like that. And he bought that townhouse in Paris specifically to use as his extermination camp.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
H.H. Holmes vibes here.
Yeah, right. Who, according to Bill, was not Jack the Ripper.
According to everybody, it's not Jack the Ripper.
Not everybody, not the show I saw on.
Conspiracy theorists think that it's Jack the Ripper. He wasn't Jack the Ripper.
I know he wasn't, but you know what I mean. The show I watched was pretty convincing.
Although H.H. Holmes was alive during this time.
Yes, he was.
Maybe Marcel was H.H. Holmes.
I doubt it.
Yeah, me too. No, actually, no, he wasn't, because that was around like pre-World War I when H.H. Holmes did his bullshit.
Yeah, it was like, yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, we're in World War II now. So, in late 1941, Marcel visited a local barber named Raoul Fourier, who had ties to the underworld. And he planted the story for Fourier that he was part of the resistance, and he was the head of a cell called Flytox.
Flytox?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he just pulled these names off of things that Fourier had on his shelves.
Oh, kind of like Kaiser Soze.
Yeah. So they had an escape network, and if he knew of anybody who wanted to escape, Jew or otherwise, to let them know that Dr. Eugene was in.
That kills me, Dr. Eugene. I don't know why.
I know.
That's funny.
It's like Eugene? That's not even a French name, is it? Or maybe it is. Shit, I don't know.
I couldn't tell you.
It doesn't sound like a French name.
No, it really doesn't. I don't know. Who knows?
British, maybe? I don't know.
No idea.
So Fourier bought this hook, line, and sinker. Now, Dr. Eugene's cost 25,000 francs.
Okay.
He would also provide false documents, vaccinations, and he would get them to a safe house, and from there out of the country with a people smuggler.
A coyote.
A coyote. So they were.
Do they have coyotes in France?
No. I think
they have
they're
foxes,
called,
though.
I think they're called Pomeranians there.
Oh, fuck you, man. Pomeranians. All right.
I don't even know if that's a French dog or not, but it sounds French.
So. It's okay. You just go with it. You would have been better with poodles because they do have a French poodle.
Damn it.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway, moving on.
Damn. So they were instructed to liquidate everything that they had, sell everything that they had and bring all of their valuables with them so that they could be set up for their new lives elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Marcel offered Fourier a cut if he would get the word out, and Fourier was impressed and he came through. In just a couple of weeks, he had a group of French gang members who the Nazis wanted dead. Thief and pimp Jolet Bacchur, his mistress Claudia.
Just call her Claudia. Don't worry about the last name.
Chamoux. Oh, they're victims.
Oh, victims. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Claudia Chamoux.
Chamoux?
Chamaux. I guess it is pronounced Chamoux.
Yeah, probably.
I'm sorry if it's not.
Yeah, you can berate us on whichever platform you're on.
Yeah.
By all means, please, tear into us.
A prostitute named Josephine Grippet and a hardened criminal named Adrien Lebasque.
Okay.
Total of 8 members of this gang were taken to Marcel's house in Paris. And at the house they were vaccinated, which meant poisoned.
Yeah, I think everybody's got that now.
Yeah. And they were never seen again. But these people were desperate to escape, so they literally did everything exactly as they were told. They sold everything they owned. They brought the money and valuables along willingly. They didn't tell anybody where they were going. They brought no identification papers, and were even more than happy to get some unknown vaccination and inject it into their bodies. Why does that sound familiar?
Not going there.
I just did.
Not going there.
But they made themselves untraceable, and Marcel didn't have to do a single thing. And not one of these people were ever reported missing. So this literally was the perfect crime. You know, he'd even duped hardened gangsters.
That's you think the gangster, I mean, would know.
It would smell bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, whatever. The guy was obviously had.
Yeah, he was really
something
smart.
going for him. Yeah, he was smart. Whatever. Even though he's brain damaged and.
Yeah, I'd like to see Marcel and John Robinson, the slave master, in like a manipulation off.
Oh God.
Got him.
Oh, a manipulation off.
But as Marcel was ramping up, coincidentally, so were the Nazi atrocities. At the 1C conference in January of 1942, the final solution is announced by Adolf Hitler. Germans began building the concentration camps, and Hitler looked to Marshal Pétain for help rounding up the French Jews. And Pétain agreed, and French Jews that were captured were sent to a concentration camp in Paris called Drancy. They were then sent away on trains on a one-way trip to hell. Enter the gate, Auschwitz awaits.
Told you to stop that shit.
Freedom burns, the final solution. Dreams fade away and our hopes turn to dust.
Stop.
Millions burn. The curtain has fallen, lost to the world as they perish in flames.
Stop. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, come on, you like it.
Maybe.
That's a great song by Sabaton. It's called The Final Solution, if you weren't wondering, or if you were wondering. Or even if you weren't wondering, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm sure they weren't.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
Thousands, like, I couldn't resist. It was like right there.
Yeah, I know. I got you.
I mean, it wasn't forced like the Meredith Brooks and the Gwen Stefani.
Well, yeah, you didn't have to make shit up. You didn't have to make lyrics up for that. You're actually singing real lyrics. Oh, jeez. All right. Let's get this shit done. I'm tired.
So, thousands of French Jews, men, women, and children were captured in Paris. And they were shipped out on June 16th, 1942. Not by Nazis, but by the French policemen. Over 13,000 of them were taken in one day.
Damn.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Any Jews that had escaped the roundup were, of course, terrified that they'd be next, so lots of them sought out these escape networks. One couple... Huh?
Oh, nothing. Go ahead.
One couple, Kurt and Margaret Nellers, they had left Germany. This is sad irony right here. They had left Germany in 1933 when Hitler came to power and fled to France. You know, there they flourished, and their son was born several years later. The Gestapo came knocking, and they weren't home when the Gestapo came to their house. Unfortunately, they were en route to Marcel's Paris house at the suggestion of a friend.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, horrible.
Well, I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, they didn't know, so I mean,
no, they didn't know, but still, it's just like they left Germany to get away from Hitler.
Only to go, yeah.
Only to be taken out by, this douchebag in France.
Another douche kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So their bodies were found in a river, dissected, and 8 more families were found in the coming months. Lena and Maurice Wolf, sister-in-law Rachel, another doctor named Paul Braunberger. And you would think that another doctor would be like, "What's in that needle?"
Yeah, you'd think. Or at least I'd like to hope that they would.
Why is there a box of arsenic sitting next to the the vaccine?
Right. Oh, man.
Oh, it's the rats. We got the rats in here. It's old building,
Old building, yes.
But
oh boy. A man
named Gilbert Bosch and 5 members of his family, and countless more.
Mm-hmm.
The newspaper said that these murders were motivated by vicious bloodlust, and this is why you shouldn't trust the media to profile.
Yeah, right.
This was financially motivated.
Oh yeah. Well, we know that because we have the luxury of looking back at it, but at the time.
And we got John Douglas.
Oh yeah. There's him.
I would like to interview him, but I don't really want to ask him about, what was it like when you profiled Ed Kemper? What was it like when you profiled BTK? What was it like, blah, blah, blah. I want to know, and I honestly don't think that I think that he would be interested in having this discussion. It's like, I want to talk about when you got it wrong. Because he did get some wrong. But when people interview him, they're like, okay, well, just tell us about the forensics and everything and how you got these people. So, right. Well, he got stuff wrong. And I think that he would probably be down for that. Like, okay, what did you get wrong? Why do you think you got it wrong? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he'd be down for that.
Yeah, maybe. It'd probably be something different than he usually gets.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know, dude, whatever. I'm down if you get him.
I'm not going to be, it's not going to be like, oh, well, you did get, I'm not going to be mocking the guy, but the fact of the matter is he did get it wrong sometimes.
Yes.
But nobody ever asked him about that.
Well,
so I think he'd be down for it. Anyway, hashtag, but I digress.
Yep.
So this is when he changed his MO to storing the bodies in the basement at his place because it's like they were finding them when he was dumping them in the river. But the escape network, well, the air quote escape network was discovered by the Nazis.
Uh-oh.
An informant had tipped them off, and this informant also outed Fourier. Fourier was arrested and severely interrogated, tortured. He broke quickly, and he gave Marcel's name and address. Marcel was then arrested and tortured, but he gave them a cover story which the Nazis eventually bought. Kind of. He told them, I'm not helping anybody escape. He's like, I'm luring the Jews to their death. We're on the same team here. Which it literally was the truth.
Yeah. But who's going to believe that?
Exactly. But then again, it wasn't just, because the French gang members.
Mm-hmm.
He had helped. Well, he had quote helped them escape end quote as well. So
helped them escape this mortal plane.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
so he but yeah, they had him for 8 freaking months, and he never changed his story.
Wow.
One Nazi said that he was the bravest prisoner he had ever seen. He never broke. He never changed his story. He taunted the Nazis and laughed at them. And why does this sound familiar?
That's the last one we just...
Panzram.
Yeah, see, I remember that one because it was the last one we did.
You want a cookie?
No, I don't want a cookie.
Okay.
I'm not going to the dark side. Don't tempt me with cookies.
Oh, man. In January of 1944, Marcel was released, and he ran back to his house and began burning the badly decomposed bodies. If the Nazis found out that he was robbing these people and the fact that they weren't all Jews, he'd be a dead man.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh,
God. All right.
It's like, well, you're not just killing Jews, and you need to be giving all of these riches and everything to us if you're actually working for us, as you say that you are.
Yeah, exactly.
You brave and elegant piece of shit, you.
Jeez, all right.
So he called his brother Maurice and told him, bring me 400 kilograms of quicklime. He then left to go back to his other house outside of Paris, but he left the furnace burning, which was a stupid move.
Oops.
It's probably the only bad move that he's made in his life, to be honest with you.
From what I've heard so far, yeah, I would say that.
But yeah, he probably just wanted to stick to the quicklime. It's just kind of like, all right, this cleanup shit. I'd rather just throw them in the river, but I can't throw them in the river because they're watching me.
Yeah, right.
I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Please stop.
On March 11th, 1944, police were called, like I mentioned at the beginning, and they called him on the phone. He said that he'd come, and he didn't. So the police went in. They found the remains in the basement. They also found a mound of quicklime with lots of bodies burned underneath it. Now, at first, the police thought that they had found a Gestapo slaughterhouse where they had executed resistance members.
Mm-hmm.
But while they're going through the scene, a man on a bike rolls up, and he says that he's the brother of the owner of this house. And the police showed in the basement. He's like, my God, my head might be at stake. He said that he was a member of the resistance, and he was concerned that that they had reported this to the Nazis already. And he said that he had hundreds of resistance files back at his own house that he had to destroy before the police got their hands on it.
Ooh.
And yeah, of course, if he's the brother of the person that owns this house, obviously the Nazis are going to be questioning him too.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Yeah, they'll
but
put your whole family down. They don't care.
Yeah. Where was I? But the Nazis were in fact on their way. And so, but now the police thought that this was a resistance slaughterhouse and that the victims were Nazi soldiers and collaborators, so they let him go.
Say what?
They let him go.
Oh man.
Remember, these police, they're being forced to do all this shit by the Nazis.
Well, no, I get it, but damn it, man.
Yeah. But, it was Marcel. He was just planting a narrative again.
Of course.
Like he did with, Fourier. And while in the house, they saw photos of the man that was on the bike. So, the police knew that was It was Marcel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he told us it was his brother. Drat.
We thought they were twins.
At that point, arrest warrant was put out on Marcel. Shortly later,
there it is.
I didn't even have it written. Not anywhere in these notes did I have that written. I'm just like, you know what?
I haven't said that in a while.
I'm gonna drop it on him.
I've been waiting.
But a Gestapo officer showed up to take charge of the investigation. All of the valuables were just scattered around, from all of these people, all these victims. They were just scattered around the house. And so the Gestapo sent out orders to get this guy, but the French police weren't completely sure that Marcel wasn't resistant, so they ignored the order.
Okay. Oh boy.
Nazis ran out to his other house, but Marcel and his wife are long gone. A manhunt began, and the remains were taken to the police station, and fingertips had been removed from all of these people. So, and not to mention they had 8 months of decomp on them, because remember he had been in prison, being interrogated by the Nazis.
Bad.
Yeah, and what I don't know is how did that smell not just permeate out of the house? Why was it when he was actually burning it? Like you would think. I guess there's. I don't know. I guess the smell of death just permeates and everything during a war like that.
Yeah, it could be.
Maybe, I don't know. But I mean, I watched. I recently binge watched Band of Brothers, and the Pacific. The Pacific. I didn't know much about the Pacific Theater of World War II, but holy shit.
Yeah.
But in Band of Brothers, when they're the 101st Airborne, they toward after Hitler had offed himself, they found a concentration camp, and it's just like and then they're like they're going into town and everything. Basically it's just like, okay, we need to get food, we need to get first aid stuff and everything. It's just like, give it to us. We're taking this shit. And it's like one of the things, this concentration camp was like, a couple miles away, and one of the soldiers is like, how could you not notice the fucking smell? Because even 2 miles away, you could smell it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure that had to smell so bad.
Yeah, so what I'm thinking, it was a gradual inoculation, where you just don't even notice it.
Slowly go nose blind to it.
Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense. Because it turned out that these people that were in the town next to that concentration camp, they didn't know. They legit did not know that was going on.
Oh, wow. All right.
So, it's just, wow.
Yeah, damn. Okay. Yeah.
You ever seen Band of Brothers?
No, I have not.
Yeah, I highly recommend both Band of Brothers and, the Pacific was like a spinoff of it where they followed the Marines and, in the Pacific Theater.
Okay.
The Band of Brothers was the 101st Airborne.
Yeah.
I could sing another Sabaton song, but I won't right now.
No, you can't.
Screaming Eagles?
No, you can't. I say no.
Okay. But you're no fun. But so identifying these people wouldn't be easy, but some of the bones did have stab marks on them, like the ones from the dissected bodies that found earlier in the river.
I couldn't help it.
That was good. the media feasted on this story, and so did the French, as it was a needed distraction from everything else. Yeah, and the fact that he was suspected to be a doctor, that really intrigued everybody, and they suspected that it was a doctor because of how the bodies have been dissected.
Okay.
Finally, word gets out that the Gestapo had interrogated Marcel before. And the French police suspected, or the Gestapo suspected him of being resistance, which that also bolstered the beliefs of the French police. They literally believed that this guy was a freaking, resistance freaking, superhero.
Okay.
And I can understand why. I mean, look at everything.
Yeah, no, I get it. I see it.
I mean, this ain't Dick Darwin territory.
Nope, sure isn't.
Sometimes imitated, never duplicated.
You know who you are.
Oh, man. But then a man came forward with a story suggesting a completely and much more evil and dark possibility. This was a murder network, and this was the businessman who told his story about his business partner, Joachim Gushinov, who I mentioned in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You can pull that knife out now.
Oh, okay.
The note on the door with the forwarding address was his brother Marcel's address. So his brother Maurice's address. So Maurice was arrested, and then they later found his wife Georgette at a train station, and she was arrested, but Marcel was in the wind.
Well, of course.
And a couple months went by, and on the 6th of June, on the shores of Western Europe, 1944, D-Day upon us.
If you do that again, I'm going to mute you. Because I can do that.
You'd have to finish the story, though.
I'll just wait till you stop singing, then I'll turn you back on. This is too much fun.
Another Sabaton.
Dude, Sabaton should fucking pay you for all the advertisement you give them.
No kidding. Well, I love that band. They're awesome.
They are.
No, they are awesome. But that makes things more difficult, and more people who are now joining the resistance because, hey, France is being liberated. So they're destroying bridges and even attacking the Nazis and everything, and like guerrilla type strikes and stuff like that. And people were even enlisting. People were joining. French people were joining. The Americans that were the American troops and the British troops and everything. They were joining up to fight alongside them and everything. Mm-hmm. It's like they're we're gonna win now.
Viva la resistance.
But I mean, I'm telling you, I would like to see a mini-series, like in the style of like Band of Brothers and the Pacific, on what happened after D-Day in France.
Yeah.
Because that would be really interesting. But so they're destroying bridges, even attacking the Nazis, and I already said that. Paris is now liberated, and General Charles de Gaulle was now put in charge of all of France. Marcel Petiot was charged with treason and sentenced to death.
Okay. As he should be.
As he should be, but it was commuted to life in prison.
Of course.
Yeah, he died in 1951.
Okay, we got that going for us.
Yeah. Lots of collaborators were lynched.
That happens.
Mm-hmm. De Gaulle's mission was to unify France, and he did.
Yes, he did.
The chief detective on the manhunt for Marcel leaked a phony story to a reporter. he was saying that Marcel was actually a Nazi collaborator.
A collaborator.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't have a freaking notebook on this episode.
Oh, because I'll just watch it back, dude.
Oh, okay, yeah. When you
I'm gonna write all this shit down, dude. This is going in my book. Billisms. Take your time.
I'm just going to start that paragraph over again. The chief detective on the manhunt for Marcel leaked a phony story to a reporter, and he exposed Marcel as a Nazi collaborator. And Marcel, he had never left Paris during all of this. Because of the fact that the police were believing that he might be resistance, and so some people were likely to hide him.
Okay.
So he figured this would piss Marcel off, and he was right.
He fell for it.
Yeah. So Marcel wrote a letter to the newspaper boasting about how he was a resistant member and not a collaborator. But writing the newspaper and boasting, why does that sound familiar?
Because almost every one of them fucking does that.
But his handwriting in the letters was analyzed, and his handwriting in the letters was analyzed, and the stationery suggested that he was possibly working for the French interior. So you might say that this letter had metadata?
Yeah, you could call it that, I suppose.
Kind of like, I don't know, a floppy disk?
Kind of like a floppy disk. Oh, Jesus. Now everything has metadata. It's fucking hilarious. Anyway.
But the detective asked the French interior to compare the letter writings of all of the officers that worked in the Paris office. And it worked. It matched up to Marcel, and Marcel was arrested, and he was jailed. And a year later, he went on trial. And during that, with everything going on, during that year that he was in jail awaiting trial, everything that was going on, he had kind of faded into obscurity by this point. Yeah, because, Viva France! But now that he was on trial, his trial was bigger news than the Nuremberg trials.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah.
Wow, all right.
He was a total rock star on trial, and he wanted to have fun with the trial. It's like, oh, look at me, total narcissist,
right?
Douchebag. But one reporter said that his trial was the theatric event of the year.
All right.
He swore he was not guilty, but all of the evidence, all of it. All of the evidence.
Every damn bit.
It probably took 3 freaking 25-foot freaking box trucks to bring all of the evidence. Well, they probably could have gotten it on 2, but still.
Right.
Okay, 1, but still.
Maybe a little flatbed pickup truck.
No, need more than that.
More than that? All right.
Because there was furniture there too.
Furniture?
People,
okay.
Like heirloom pieces.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, you had them bringing all their valuables.
Yeah. So
or whatever, yeah.
So like a Ming Dynasty freaking Ottoman.
Okay.
So, just stuff like that. And not to mention the fact that, when they were interviewing Maurice, his brother, he had stashed 49 suitcases at his brother's house.
Okay.
All
number, but all right.
All of the suitcases contained like things that belong to these victims.
Yes.
He was done.
Yeah, that'll pretty much seal your fate.
But but Marcel spun it, and he had people doubting his guilt.
Oh my God. Okay.
But it's just a testament of how much of a master manipulator he is and everything. His defense. He had a rock star defense attorney and everything who let him testify.
Johnny Cochran.
And yeah, pretty much. But his defense was ambiguous. It's just an ambiguous runaround.
All right.
It's like, did you kill so and so? Why do you think I killed so and so?
Oh, one of those. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's just trying to mind fuck everybody. And he was charged with 27 murders, but he admitted to 63, saying that they were all justifiable homicides. Viva la resistance.
Right.
He said that he got Gushinov to Argentina. It's like, South America's a big place. Go find him.
Right.
As for the French gang members, he's like, yeah, I killed him. He's like, I deserve a medal, not a trial. They were pieces of shit.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you can't just randomly kill people because they're pieces of shit.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't even work for the resistance.
Yeah, right?
They weren't Nazis.
No. Jeez. Right.
But he's trying to mindfuck everybody, and it almost worked. No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. It didn't work.
He was convicted of 26 murders, and he was sentenced to death.
Yes.
His brother and his wife were exonerated, as they should have been.
Mm-hmm.
This was clearly a case of, as far as the wife, the brother had no fucking clue, other than, what's up with these 49 suitcases?
Where do these come from?
Don't look at these suitcases. Do not look at the suitcases.
Do not look at the suitcases.
It's all my resistance notes. I write a lot.
My resistance notes.
I write a lot. You cannot make you can't, because if you do, and they catch you,
perfect Dugan.
You did it.
Well, you were doing that voice. I couldn't help it. Well, you were kind of doing the voice. You were kind of doing the voice.
I was doing my horrible French accent.
Was that what it was? Okay.
No.
Anyway,
at not one point do you say "Nein, mein Kampf, perfect Dugan."
Well, okay, you got me. I still did it though. I've been waiting for a chance to do it the entire friggin' time. Since you said you weren't going to do it, I've been waiting the entire time to do it.
Well, that was perfect. But still, I mean, like, I can totally see why his brother didn't touch the suitcases, because he probably had some sort of freaking crazy ass story to go along with it. Basically, like I was saying, he, if you look into there, you're culpable if the Nazis ever find this. They'll execute you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably exactly what happened.
Yeah, I would believe that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, his wife, this was all of the shit that went down was going on at his house in Paris, not the one that he shared with her. So she didn't know. So she's not one of those that, she knew. Like,
yeah, I know what you're saying.
Jerry Brudos' wife. But on May 25th of 1946, he was beheaded in the guillotine.
Oh.
And his last words were rants about how he was acting for France, for Mother France and the Resistance.
Sure you were.
Yeah.
Nobody believes your bullshit.
Nobody. The only person that might is Adolf Hitler, and he's dead.
Yeah. He beat you to it.
Yep.
Anyway.
That's it. That's all I got.
All right. That was a pretty good one. I liked it.
Yeah. I told you were going to like this one.
Yeah. Even though I couldn't remember all our episodes, but, I can't be expected to do all that.
And you're hating on my singing.
Well, that was just fun and games, dude. Come on. I'm just trying to not get us copyright struck.
Well, if I had actually played the song, then that would be different.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Though.
And honestly, I was thinking, I need to put a little bit of disclaimer on the Final Solution song by Sabaton. Mm-hmm. If you're not familiar with Sabaton, that's all they write about is war.
Yes.
And the Final Solution, it's not glorifying it or anything like that. You could have possibly gotten that you could have had that thought based on the lyrics that I sung. But if you just go listen to the song, find it on YouTube or Spotify or whatever and everything, and you'll see. I mean, that's a controversial song of theirs, and for obvious reasons, but it's a really good song. And, it's not in any way, the way that they tell their stories is from the point of view of the soldier.
Yeah.
And it's really genius the way that they do it. And, but that song, The Final Solution, that's about the closest they go as far as taking a stance one way or the other on somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they'll have songs about, about the Russians and their, the battles that they fought. Same thing with the Germans. Even the Nazis, they'll have songs about like specific battles and everything. But on The Final Solution, if you listen to the lyrics, they're really, taking a stance on this one.
Then the Winged Hussars arrived.
But anyway, I just had to throw that out there because I don't want people thinking that I was, like making light of it and everything. You only heard like the chorus. There's like 2 verses, a bridge, all that stuff. So,
okay.
Just had to clarify. But anyway, thanks a hell of a lot for listening. We really appreciate the hell out of it. We had a good time with this one. I wish it had been a little bit longer, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But if you have any suggestions for us, I just screwed up our own freaking email address.
You did.
ckcbpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter, on X, and all the others, Instagram, Facebook, all the others.
All that crap.
We have Discord. We have a Patreon, and we still don't have any Patreon subscribers. Our first subscriber will get a T-shirt.
Yes.
And, but anyway, had fun with this one. And until next week, later.
Cheers, everybody.